Hi, and welcome to our webinar today about discovering our 2026 small group adventures. My name is Kim Huber with Cruise Planners, Adventures and Cruises.com. I'm excited for you guys to be here and sharing with us as we launch our 2026 tours. So that being said, I will go ahead and get started. Let's see. There we go. So, welcome again. We in 2026 are going to be going on 6 different group tours that are going to hit 4 different continents. We're going to be hitting South America, Africa, Asia, and Europe. So, we have a nice lineup throughout the year next year, and we're excited to share that with you guys. So, a little bit about us and who we are. So, our mission, we're here to provide expertise and service. We want you to experience unique, unforgettable journeys, but that are also affordable. You leverage technology and our partners and help to simplify the travel planning process and support you through your travel experience from the planning, supporting you through the process of preparing for your trip and what to expect, and then, of course, through the trip itself. We love to help our curious explorers discover the world and themselves with our small group adventures. We like to kind of combine active exploration of our destinations and get very immersed in the local culture with our groups. One of our taglines is wander far but not alone. And to explain this a little bit, we want to just share our philosophy. We believe in travel as a path of self-discovery. And by sharing that adventure and those connections with others, you're only improving, upon that. And that's what we want for the people who are joining us on our tours. So a little bit about our groups themselves before we get into our destinations and where we're going specifically. Our groups, we keep to no more than 20. And the reason for that is that we really want those locally immersive experience without the crowds, without the massive buses and the waiting around for everyone. If you've ever done the big tours, you know what I'm talking about. You've got 60, 80 people, and you're just, half the time you're actually waiting for everybody to board the bus, or use the restroom or go in the shops. And, you feel like your time is not really being used to experience those locations when you have those large groups. So we like to keep it small, so that we can get to some better places, some more local experiences, and not spend our time waiting around for other people, but really, experiencing the destination. So we believe that, no big buses means less waiting and more local experiences. But we do believe that travel is better when it's shared, especially with some like-minded folks. So we want you to, do group travel, create those bonds, have those stories, but we just don't want to do the big groups. So average of 12, but no more than 20 on any of our groups. So ta-da, here's the list, and we will get a little more specific on each one of these. But these are the locations, the 6 places we are going to in 2026. We call it the year to travel deeper. So we're going to start the year early on in the year. We're going to go to Egypt and then Peru. Then we're going to do a combo of Brazil and Argentina, South Africa with Zimbabwe, and then Japan and Portugal. So all very different locations, because not everybody wants to go to the same places. But these are the ones that we feel are, going to hit some major points of reference. We like to, see the ancient wonders, see the natural wonders of the world, kind of combine modern with ancient with, the environment and nature. So these we feel are pretty good range of places to hit in 2026. Our trips, like I said, we focus on ancient wonders, natural marvels. We like to be immersive in the cultures. We like to have some flexibility. We do give everyone individual time, not just group time. But we believe that, everybody should have a deeper connection with the world and with the others that are in it. And we want to help provide that to you. So first up, our first destination that we're looking at for March of 2026. So this would be great for those of you who maybe have some spring break time. March is a really good time for Egypt that's sort of not during the high season. So it's not the peak tourism, peak pricing, but it's still a good time of year to visit. It's not too hot. It's not too crowded. It's just, we picked this in March because of it's a really great time to go. So we're looking at 9 days total. That is one travel day at the front, one travel day at the end, and 7 days in the country itself. Starting in Cairo, we're hitting the Great Pyramids at Giza, and then traveling 3 nights on a river cruise down the Nile, hitting Aswan and Luxor and some of those really beautiful ancient sites that everyone sees. We'll hit some really cool activities along the way. Not everybody maybe wants to be up close and personal with some camels, but that will be an option. But really, we're just going to see all that Egypt has to offer during that 7 days. And then next up, Peru. So we're looking at Peru in late May, early June. It's a great time of year to go. That again for Peru is kind of that in between shoulder season. So we're looking at decent weather, not a lot of crowds, not high pricing. It's just that good in between sweet spot that we like. And especially for those of us who are in Florida, a lot of our children may be out of school at the end of May, and so it's a good time to do family travel if you want to include your kids. Kids are welcome on our tours, but we tend to ask that they not be young children because of the activity level. If you have kids that you're thinking of bringing, I'd say talk to me. I'll have my contact information at the end. I'm not saying we won't include them. I'm just saying it's maybe a conversation we need to have. But anyway, so Peru is also 9 days. Travel day in the front, travel day at the end. We're gonna hit the city of Cuzco, which is the Inca capital, and explore Machu Picchu, which of course is one of the 7 wonders of the world. A huge bucket list item for me. And then we're also going to visit Lima and in general the Sacred Valley. And there's just going to be so much to see with the local culture. And personally, I really want to see some llamas. But we're gonna have a great time there. Really looking forward to it. They have amazing food in Peru, and I've already started researching some recipes to try and some, combos of some of the dishes with some of their drinks that are iconic. So I'll pass those along to people who are signing up so that they can maybe pre-try some of these things ahead of time. But we're definitely going to enjoy, the natural wonders and the ancient wonders, but also, the food and the people there. Next up, we are looking at Brazil and Argentina. These are two of the places in South America that are, pretty iconic, and we really want to explore them. Um, with Rio and visiting Christ the Redeemer, that's, again, one of those wonders of the world. And we just think that that's going to be an amazing, fun location to explore, especially the food. So from there, we're also going to go to Buenos Aires and Iguazu Falls, which is another natural wonder of the world. And hopefully, we will be able to get Iguazu Falls in the evening. There are times during this time of year, there are nights where you can book with the local or the national park there for evening tours that are in the moonlight. And there's some apparently gorgeous moonbows that you can see on the right, in the right weather. So fingers crossed that we can make that happen for this trip as well. Then next up in August, we are looking at a little bit longer of a trip because it is a little bit harder to get to. It's a little farther away. It's a little harder to get to. So this is one is actually 13 nights. And we are hitting both South Africa, different parts of South Africa, starting in Johannesburg and kind of seeing that very interesting city. And then going from there to Kruger National Park, doing some game drives. We're gonna, try to see those, not just the giraffes, but the lions and, all of the different big game. And then we're going to move over to Cape Town in South Africa. And Cape Town has a little bit of everything. Cape Town has beaches, it has amazing Table Mountain is gorgeous. I'm hoping to also incorporate a side tour to one of the vineyards near there. There, if you've never had South African wine, there's some very, very good South African wine. So I'm hoping to incorporate a side trip for those who want to go one day up into some of the vineyards there. And then from Cape Town, we're going to venture into Zimbabwe and see Victoria Falls, which again is a big natural wonder of the world. And there will also be time where we're in Chobe National Park and more game drives for those of you who want to go on game drives. There will be multiple opportunities, both in Kruger and Chobe, to try to see all of the different animals and game that we can. So that's going to be our trip in August, and then in September we're switching it over to Asia. This one's back to 9 days. And this is really hitting the highlights of Japan. I've sent a number of people to Japan on tours, and 9 days is honestly, I think, just barely enough to hit these highlights, but it's a good starting place. We're gonna start with Tokyo, and it's so modern, so gorgeous. There's a lot to do there. But we're gonna kind of see the more modern side of Japan, and then take the bullet train and see Osaka and then Kyoto. There's more of the natural side of Japan with the Nara Park. That was the name. Nara Park near Kyoto is a beautiful deer park. It's a very natural area. And then we also have, of course, Mount Fuji. You can't not go see Mount Fuji. So we will be visiting that. There's going to be tea ceremonies, temples, lots of gardens. And we will also get to visit the geisha district in Kyoto, which is very, very interesting. So there's a lot to see there between modern to ancient, modern and traditional, city and nature. It's going to be a great tour. So that's going to be in September. And then, excuse me, last but not least, we have Portugal. Portugal's been on my bucket list. So, that's really the reason it's there on our list is, again, 9 days. We're going to hit the capital city of Lisbon, and then we're going to visit some medieval towns, some beach towns, some very, beautiful city countryside and along the river. Really looking forward to the Douro River and going and seeing some of the iconic vineyards that are along that river valley. It's gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to visiting there and checking it out. There's also some amazing historical places all through Portugal. The food's amazing. There's a lot to do on the water. So there will be no end of things that we can do when we are on this tour to Portugal. And that is kind of the last one we have for 2026. I will say all of these trips, even though I have dates on them, these are not the only times that these trips can be done. These are just the 6 specific trips and tours that we currently have in place, that we have a team member that is going as a group leader on these trips. So if anyone is interested, but these dates don't match up, that's okay. We can still work with that. It's just that this is what we've already got on the calendar and ready with one of our team members as a guide, or not a guide. There's already guides locally on all of these tours. What we're saying is that one of our team members is also going as a group leader. So you will have a familiar face, and support while you are on the tour, as with the group. So for all of these tours, what's included is all the flights, both international flights to get there, but also any flights and transportation that's needed within the country, like from Cusco to Lima, from Lima to Cusco, from Cairo to Luxor, Luxor to Cairo. Those are all included in the pricing. All your hotels are included. Transfers from the airports and the hotels and the activities are included. There will be an English-speaking local guide, on each of our tours, and we have activities and excursions that are included, and some of the meals that are included. And those will be detailed out, in the specific itineraries when, you get those. I will say we do balance group time and activity with some independent time. So, these are not jam-packed schedules that you don't have any breathing room. You will be able to enjoy some time to just go explore. You can separate from the group and meet back. And, it's very much a nice balance between, being part of a group and having that support and security, but also having that flexibility to go off and explore some on your own, and not feel like every minute of the day is booked up. So what's exclusive to us with Cruise Planners, Adventures and Cruises, is really the support and the community building. Also pricing, but that's harder to show. But we do have pricing that we've negotiated on all of these to, get the best deals possible. But what is exclusive to us is that we give you a lot of pre-trip support. We do a series of virtual meetings, before your trips. Each of these groups we're going to discuss, what to expect, what to pack, what do I need for visas? Do I need immunizations? What's the weather going to be like? All of that stuff we will go through with you, well beforehand, and give you all the tips and tricks and answer all the questions that you might have. We will fully support you all the way through. And then also, what I enjoy almost the most is the virtual community that we put together with each of our groups. So we have an app that basically, once you're part of the group, we give you the link to sign up to get into our app with the group and a chat. And we use that, you create a profile, you use that to basically talk with the group well before we ever go. And so you'll meet the other people that are going, you'll get to know some of them, you can ask questions in the chat. We can share, like, here's pictures of what I'm packing, here's, we'll use it as a tool to communicate as a group well before we ever even make it to the airport, for that first day. You'll know who you're going with. You'll, hopefully even be friends with some of them well beforehand. And you'll have that like built-in community before we, even get to the airport to leave for the trip. It'll be great. And it's a good tool when we're in other countries where we have some service on Wi-Fi, not always guaranteed, but that we can also use to chat and communicate with each other as a group. And then, of course, we're offering extra in-person support. One of our team members is going with each of these groups. So not only do you get to know us ahead of time, but we're going to be there at the airport. We're going to be there during the trip. It's not just that you're going to a foreign country and, being part of a group, but not really having anybody to help you, along the way, other than, whatever the guide is who lives there. One of our team members will be there to support you. It's really before, during, and after. We're there for you. We are that, that hand to hold if you need it. And also just the expertise. We've traveled a lot. I personally have been to 49 different countries and almost all 50 states. And our other team members are equally well traveled. And, we've experienced it a lot. We've been to a lot of places. We can definitely help in answer a lot of the questions and concerns that, you may have ahead of time. So that's kind of one of the things that helps set us apart of, why sign up for one of these things. It's just a group. It's more than that. It's really a built-in community and support system for you as well. One of our partners for these groups is a company called Exotica. And, so any of the itineraries that I'm sending you, any of the deposits, these kind of things are going to be through Exotica. So, we are cruise planners and we are partnering with Exotica Tours to help us do these groups. So here's a little bit about how it works. There's, like I said, only 12 to 20 people max on each of these. So that is limited space. Just know that ahead of time. So if you're interested, all you got to do is reach out. Set up a time to talk with me and I will confirm all of the itineraries, details, pricing, answer any and every question you might have. There's my link right there. You can, do the QR code on your phone to get there as well. And the next slide, I'll have my contact information directly. If you just want to shoot me an email or text, that's fine as well. But just to get on my calendar and have a conversation, the easiest thing to do is use this QR code and set that up. I realize I haven't really talked about pricing. I will say the average per person for our groups is $3,500. Remember, that includes all of your flights, all of your transportation, your hotels, activities, and some of the meals. So it's pretty all-inclusive. And, I say average because you are able to customize from there. So there are people who really want to fly first class or premium instead of standard class. There are people who really want the luxury 5-star hotel versus maybe the 3 to 4 star hotel that we're already staying in. I tend to pick the 4-star level just because I want that comfort level. So the pricing when I say 3,500 is at that 4-star level average. But that's where the pricing starts. For the longer trips, the pricing is a little bit more. And you always have the option of adding some extra excursions and activities to what we're already doing as a group. So I do say that 3,500 is kind of the average, but it could go up or down based on some of your individual choices. And that's why I say we need to have a conversation before, getting you into a specific group. But once you are in and you love it and you've made your choices, a 60% deposit is required. And that goes directly to Exotica. That does not come to us. And it is a refundable deposit. However, it is a refundable deposit as a travel credit. So if you have to cancel your trip up to 30 days prior to the trip, you can get that money as a travel credit on another trip with Exotica Tours. And it can also be one that we're doing. It doesn't have to be not with us. It can be with just Exotica on a different date. I also recommend to everyone that you have travel insurance that includes medical, but that's a different kind of thing and a different conversation. But there is this standard cancellation coverage that Exotica offers, just so you are aware. So once that 60% deposit is done, you're all set. We will then do, our series of calls and Zooms and chats and make sure everybody's well prepared for the trip. And then, so we do encourage you, get connected with us, be part of those chats, attend the calls, really experience the group and the support before we go. And then just know that the remaining 40% is due about 90 days prior to the trip happening. So all those dates will be given to you, based on which trip that you want to go on and what dates that you choose. Again, these dates that I provided for our groups are just what we have already chosen for 2026. If you have another date in mind that you would like to go, or you would like to make a trip like this, just you and your group, that's great. I just need to know that. And I will work with you on all of those details and getting you exact pricing based on the dates that you do want to go. But of course, we want to promote our 6 tours and the dates that we've already got calendared and put on our schedule. So that's, how that all works. So that's pretty much it. Just if you have questions, please, drop us a line. My contact information is there. You can also visit our website, and there's links there to connect to us. If you forget anything else, you can remember adventuresandcruises.com, and you can find us, on the website and chat, get connected to us through there. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you would like to know, please don't hesitate to reach out. Email, texting, phone calls, all of that is good. I will back up a second to this QR code and just say that this is the best way to get on my calendar and make sure that I have enough time to have that conversation with you. Because, sometimes if you call me, I'm already working with somebody, that we just can't connect right then and there. But if you get on my calendar, I have a dedicated time to talk to you and answer your questions and work with you. So that is going to be the best way to get hold of me. But again, if you just have a quick question or maybe something that you just want me to be aware of and look up ahead of time, feel free to text, email, all of that. Which again, there is my information right there. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for watching our 2026 launch video. And I look forward to speaking with you and hopefully having you on one of our groups. Thank you.